In April 1994, dozens of American reporters were invited to witness the most expensive test in the history of civil aviation. Denver International's automated baggage system had cost over $200 million. The city promised to revolutionize the way luggage was transported in airports. The cameras filmed the result in real time. Bags flying off the conveyor belts, clothes scattered across the floor, the system swallowing luggage that would never come back. The airport's opening was canceled on the spot. United Airlines had demanded that system as a condition to move to Denver. Without the system working, United still agreed to go. It paid dearly for the move. It bet billions on an airport in the middle of nowhere, 23 miles from downtown. 30 years later, that airport became United Airlines' largest operational hub in the world, larger than Chicago, larger than Newark. How exactly did United pull off this transition without anyone noticing? Denver International is today the 10th busiest airport on the planet. In 2025, more than 82 million passengers passed through its terminals, an absolute record. The airport contributes $47.2 billion per year to Colorado's economy and employs more than 40,000 people, making it the largest employer in the state. And at the center of this machine is United Airlines. The carrier operates the entire Concourse B alone. That's 74 gates across 4,244 feet of length, the longest concourse in the airport. In 2025, United carried a record 41.4 million passengers through Denver. In 2026, it's scheduled to operate 194,200 departures from the hub. Here's the paradox. Most Americans still associate United with Chicago O'Hare. Ask the average passenger which is United's main hub, and they'll answer Chicago. The corporate image, the commercials, the company culture, everything points to Illinois. But the financial reality points to Colorado, and it has been pointing there for longer than United itself publicly admits. Today, we're going to analyze how Denver silently became United Airlines' largest operational hub, and what that reveals about the strategy of the largest airline in the United States. We're going to look at 3 points. First, the financial logic behind Denver's growth, where the money United extracts from the hub really comes from. Second, the structural vulnerability nobody in the industry likes to discuss: the altitude, the limited international traffic, the invisible ceiling. Third, the expansion bet that's happening at this very moment, and why it could redefine the competitive balance of American aviation by 2030. Here's what United doesn't announce in press conferences. The first mechanism is what the industry calls captive passenger pricing. On 29 transatlantic routes operated by United without any direct competitor, average fares run 23% higher than on routes with multiple carriers. In Denver, this pattern repeats on a domestic scale. The passenger who lives in Bozeman, Idaho Falls, or Aspen, small Mountain West cities, has no real alternative to reach the world. They fly United, connect through Denver, and pay the premium. Estimates indicate this passenger pays on average $65 above the national average for an equivalent leg. The second mechanism is domestic O&D. Denver is the 4th largest domestic origin destination market in the United States. That means United's planes don't depend solely on connections to fill their seats. They leave packed with passengers who begin or end their journeys in the city itself. Higher margins, lower marketing costs, more predictable fares. The third mechanism is mainline dominance. In 2026, O'Hare still leads in total United flight count with 250,306 departures projected, against Denver's 194,200. But Denver has surpassed O'Hare in mainline operations: bigger aircraft, higher fares, premium passengers. The distinction matters because mainline is where the margin lives. Regional flights move volume. Mainline moves profit. United didn't just grow in Denver. It grew in the right part of Denver. And yet, the model nearly broke once already. The automated baggage system United demanded as a condition to enter Denver pushed the project nearly $2 billion over the original budget. The airport, which was supposed to cost $3 billion, ended up at $4.8 billion. It opened 16 months late, on February 28, 1995. The baggage system never worked properly. United had to hire workers to do manually the job automation had promised. In September 2005, 10 years later, the system was officially shut down. The contractual condition United had imposed on the city had failed completely. United stayed anyway. There was no public renegotiation, no abandonment of the hub. The carrier absorbed the operational loss and kept growing. The lesson from that episode defines what's at stake now. When United decides to bet on Denver, it doesn't pull back even when the original plan collapses. But this time, the numbers are bigger, and the margin for error is much smaller. United isn't managing Denver. It's deliberately expanding. The airport covers 53 square miles, enough space to serve 100 million passengers per year, with 16,000 additional acres still available for development. The Jeppesen Terminal is in the final phase of renovation, with completion projected for late 2027. United operates 436 daily departures from Denver today, connecting to 230 destinations worldwide. To put it in perspective, when Denver opened in 1995, United operated 386 daily flights to 135 destinations. In 3 decades, the number of destinations has nearly doubled. The number of passengers has more than tripled. The unusual innovation is how United is using the airport's physical space. The entire Concourse B belongs to the carrier, shared with no one. No other United hub in the United States has this arrangement. In Newark, United shares. In Chicago, it shares. In Houston, it shares. In Denver, it rules alone. The vulnerability of the bet is technical. Denver sits at 5,430 feet of elevation. A fully loaded plane taking off from there needs more fuel and runway than the same plane taking off at sea level. Long-haul flights to Asia or Oceania lose range. The altitude charges its toll, and it charges in kilometers of runway and dollars of fuel. Southwest Airlines hasn't given up on Denver. It entered the airport in 2006 with 13 daily flights. Today, it's the second largest carrier in Denver, behind only United. But it operates mostly out of Concourse C, the farthest from the central terminal, accessible only by underground train. In December 2025, the airport approved a $700 million expansion of Concourse C, adding 11 new gates dedicated to Southwest. The asymmetry is exactly that. Southwest is growing, but it's growing in the Concourse United didn't want. United has the entire Concourse B. Southwest has the concourse you need a train to reach. Volume against quality. Low fares against mainline. Concourse C against Concourse B. Southwest can fill Denver with passengers. It can't take from United the premium passengers who fly to Europe, to Asia, or to corporate markets. That fortress is structural, and money alone doesn't bring it down. United is betting everything on Denver. There is no plan B. The hub that almost didn't happen in 1995, with a broken baggage system, a busted budget, and an opening canceled in front of reporters, is today the most important piece on the chessboard of the largest airline in the United States. But the bet has a ceiling. The altitude limits long haul. The demographics limit international O&D traffic. And Southwest is growing on the floor below. The race is on. And most American passengers haven't even realized that United's center of gravity has already moved from Chicago to Colorado. If you want to understand the real money that moves American aviation, subscribe for more analysis. See you next time.